My name is Ivan Wesley. My company is Rebel Star Divination, and I'm a tarot and rune practitioner.
And I'm Christine from Wisdom Within the Winds, and I do intuitive oracle card readings, Reiki, as well as chakra pendulum dowsing.
Visit our sponsor, the most gifted psychics. Call 866-228-2883 and mention code word HauntingLive to receive 10 minutes for just $10. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. This week we have former guests that we had on the show before. They've come back to update us on what they've been up to lately. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Thank you. Quickly, can you guys introduce yourselves, who you are, and a brief description of what you do?
My name is Ivan Wesley. My company is Rebel Star Divination, and I'm a tarot and rune practitioner. And I also teach workshops as well.
And I'm Christine from Wisdom Within the Winds, and I do intuitive oracle card readings, Reiki, as well as chakra pendulum dowsing.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for coming back to the show. I know we had you recently, I think it was last season on the show, so thank you for joining us again. I've been wanting to have you guys back and talk a bit more in depth about what you guys do, because you cover such a wide range of in the field of paranormal. You do, like you said, deviation, you do ruins, you do a whole bunch of different things. I guess we'll start with Ivan. Can you go into detail on sort of how you deal with your company? What do you do specifically?
When I started off the company, the main focus was tarot cards, and then eventually through studies I got into rune divination and really got into the deeper aspects and the magical aspects of the runes as well, where it became a daily practice and a ritual for me, with the runes, certain exercises, vocal exercises, and lots of journaling and a lot of book readings. So from that aspect, I branched out and started going into with confidence doing workshops teaching runes, the basic of runes. I did one last year for the first time, which I was a bit nervous about, but it was a great turnout, and I was with the confidence from that and the success of last year's workshop. I'm doing it again this year, and I'm also working on extension workshops now. Those who've taken the intro to runes, I'm doing new projects that's going to just continue the teaching and the learning process of runes for those who want to know about it and who want to go beyond the cheat sheets, beyond the basic keywords of what the runes are and what they look like in a reading. I'm getting to the workshop I'm working on now that's going to be ready this summer. I'm connecting the Norse mythology and the rune lore and from the Nordic poems to each rune now. So we'll give you more meaning and more of a background behind the initial look of the rune and the initial keywords. Because I feel that online on social media, a lot of people are just happy having the keywords, saying, hey, I can read runes, I can make jewelry. I've seen people put runes on stuff and products they're selling without even knowing what the runes are about. So that's what I'm doing. I've been focusing now on workshops for the future, but on the side through Rebel Star Divination, I also do tarot and rune readings online through e-readings, and I also combine both of them as well too to make the readings truly special.
Same question for you, Christine. Can you go into just a brief description of what you do for your side?
So for my business, my main offering that I give to clients is doing intuitive oracle card reading. So I've been working with oracle cards probably for about 30 years. So they've been part of my journey for quite a long time. And then I'm so grateful to be able to provide it for clients. So I just help connect to the angelic realm, the client's spirit guides, and their higher self, just to give them the information that they need to support them during their journey and growth.
Great. So you guys both have your own separate ways of doing what you do, but you also have combined together, I guess not really a new company, but you guys do it together as well as one, so which is, I believe, called Hermit and the High Priestess. So can you tell me a little bit about how that came together? What made you decide to join together?
You want to explain it to me?
You're the one that called it the beautiful fluke.
Yeah, it was a beautiful fluke. 2 years ago, we started doing Facebook Live. I think Christine wanted to get over her nerves and stage fright of being in front of the camera. I said, okay, and I already did a few live Facebook readings myself. So I said, okay, let's try and do something together for the first time. And we actually talked about the night before doing a practice run of me doing tarot readings and her with her oracle cards and angel cards, and then combine them together and see if we came up with the same messages for the person. So the night on Facebook that we did it live without a net, we didn't practice. It ended up being a success. It was fun, and we realized after, and when we were doing the hermit, we didn't even call it the hermit and the high priestess at the time, I don't think.
Yeah,
it's just like Ivan, Christine, Wisdom with the Winds, Rebel Star Tarot at the time, my company name was. Hey, we're both going to do a combined reading. Let's try it out. And we came up with a lot of similarities and connected with a lot of people asking us questions on Facebook Live, that afterwards we realized, let's do this. Let's provide a service from her website, my website, that lets us work together. It's not a separate or a third company. It's just a service that we provide, combining both our skills together.
So this is more of something that you do online, or do you do it in person as well, as something somebody can come see you both and get a reading from you both, or is it mostly online readings?
Yeah, we currently do it online because I think that's more accessible for clients, because we really enjoy doing online readings because, people don't have to travel anywhere. They can have the reading at the comfort of their own home. And then afterwards, what we do is we take a picture of the cards, and then we'll also record the reading. So if they want to access it afterwards, because sometimes when you're taking in information, you kind of want to be in the moment. So people may not be able to write down everything at the time. So we'll record it and then afterwards send them the reading, and then they can just take it all in again and look at their picture of the cards.
The only time we've actually done it in person was previous interviews or podcasts. We've done something in front of the host. And plus, considering too, we just came out of 3 years of the pandemic as well too. So yeah, it's been mostly online. Like Christine said, we record the video. The client has a chance to watch it on a secret YouTube page that we have. We send them the picture of the cards and the spreads and stuff. And how it works is that the client will ask a question, want a general reading. I'll start first. I'll draw my cards, my tarot cards. And recently I've been throwing in a surprise rune as well too. So I'll tell the client what I've came up with my tarot cards and the rune. And that gives a chance for Christine to channel any messages or any signs that she has and her oracle cards. So then when I stop, then Christine will jump in with what she came up with her cards and channel messages. And while she's doing that, I'm taking notes, and I'm already cross-referencing what she comes out with. Oh yeah, well, that's similar to what I'm talking about. And then we give a third reading, like a third result process of combined on how, the message has to be dead on, because we both came up with it separately, and we're using different methods also too. I can't channel, I don't read oracle cards. She doesn't do the same with the tarot, the tarot cards or with the runes. So it's quite an amazing process that we offer to our customers.
I think it's really unique. I don't think I've seen that actually too often at all, that there's two people doing a reading for one person, like a client that comes to you. They both get both sides of it, and if they cross and they confirm that, that's amazing that they can, I guess, to use that as a tool, like each other, to use each other as a tool to clarify or verify the results.
Well, yeah. I mean, with the process, exactly.
Yeah. It's always amazing how, because sometimes too, as Ivan's talking about, he'll be with the client, okay, this is what's coming through the tarot, and there's already things that I've written down that I've channeled that he's saying to the client, and it's already come through and I've written it down. So we're always like just amazed at just how parallel the messages and the energy that comes through is.
When she's speaking to the customer and she's about to say something, and I already have the idea, like, because while she's doing that, I'm getting secondary messages from the tarot cards afterwards. I get to examine it more without talking to the client right away, because Christine's already got the client occupied with her messages, and I'm coming up with stuff, and I'll write it in my notes, and Christine comes up bang right away after with what she came with. I'm like, I was just about to mention that. It's like a freak out moment.
Do you guys find that you feed off of each other when you do that? Do you feed off each other's energy and the reading that she's giving to the client?
I think with us living together and that we already know there's that, feel that vibe, that energy, that common energy that we share. I just wish I had her gifts for the psychic stuff and that. I'm more street reading, and she's from the astral, from above and that.
Well, there's different forms, right? So she has a gift and you have your gift as well. So combine those two together and I think you guys are doing amazing work there, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How does it work with clients then? How do you start it? Does somebody come to you and say they want a reading, they book a reading, and then you guys kind of meditate separately, or do you do that part together as well to prepare for that reading? Or
I think we have our own separate rituals
Yeah,
and stuff we do. I mean, I meditate and get ready. I draw certain runes on me. You know, with water, like I'll take like a rune on Zeus, which is a rune of communication and clear speech. I'll dab my finger in some water and I'll actually draw it and vocally speak out the rune name to get ready, and I'll meditate. Christine has her own way of getting ready as well too, which
Yeah, like I'll meditate with crystals just to help open my chakras, especially like my third eye, my crown chakra. So I'll meditate. I have sort of like a little invocation, a little prayer that I say to help connect me to the angelic realm and the spirit guides and just get that support. So yeah, we both have sort of our sort of sacred sort of like rituals and meditations that we do. And then that way, as soon as we come together, it's like it's amplified.
Also we our card clearing, our card cleaning.
Yeah,
we don't want any vibes from the previous client as well too. So we'll light the Palo Santo or certain incense stick and run our cards through it and just get everything all cleansed. Because Christine uses like 3 or 4 decks during the reading, where I'm using just one in my rune set. So that seems to be our common setup, which takes about a half hour, and then you're hoping the customer actually shows up.
well, that's the other part of it, right? You're hoping that your message is there for a reason. You don't want just to be preparing all this stuff together and then not have to do it. But there's always a reason for that too. There must be a reason if something doesn't connect to. But how often do you guys do this kind of work? Is it just when you have a customer that wants a reading, or do you have a regular schedule that you do online readings for people? Or
it would be sweet if we actually had a regular. I mean, to be honest, I know not a lot of people are honest and embellish. Hey, I'm booked. I'm solid. I'm booked already. Like the month ahead of that. There will be honest. It comes in once in a blue moon for both our businesses. Really, on average, we'll be lucky if we get at least like 1 to 3 paid readings a month. I think with the Hermit and High Priestess too, even though we offer discounts, as people are intimidated with 2 people in front of the camera listening to the person's problem or their question, and that we just want people to feel more at ease and to know in advance, hey, we're not like 2 complete strangers. We're both here to help you out with a common message and goal and helping you out. Because I know a lot of people don't have that experience going on a camera and it's like a confession booth at a church or whatever and talking about it. So we want people to feel at ease. During the winter time, I've been getting a lot more e-reading requests through my business, like whether it's a tarot rune combined e-reading or just a rune reading. I mean, those are fun to do. They're pretty cheap. But for actual readings in person, it comes in once in a blue moon. But during that downtime in between readings, we've been busy with our own projects and studies, and in the meantime, just to fill in the gaps and better improve ourselves. So we'll have something better off for the customer in the meantime.
yeah, so what kind of things have you been working on besides putting together Hermit and the High Priestess? Like, do you have other side projects as well that you've been doing?
You want to start with yours?
Sure. Yeah. So I've actually been working on my mediumship skills. So it's something that I was always interested in, but I kind of knew there was other things that sort of my spiritual journey that I needed to focus on first. So I've been working on that, and also too, just reading books on like energy work and even, crystals. Like I've taken, multiple crystal certifications, but I still love reading about crystals. So just, always reading, always studying. And I just recently actually launched an Etsy shop because I'm actually working on sort of like workbooks and journal books that's meant to help people along with their journey and the growth. So I've been working on that. So I'm really excited about that.
Sure. Tell people what your shop name is called on Etsy so they can find you.
It's exactly the same name as my business, Wisdom Within the Winds. So hopefully it shows up on Etsy, because sometimes their search stuff doesn't work very well. But if people just search Wisdom Within the Winds sort of as like one word.
One word. That's the only way I could find it, as one word. I tried to do it individually, it never showed up. And I said, Christine, your site is not working. but it's all as one word. Yeah.
I think that's the way Etsy works for some reason. I tried that myself and have the same issues. How about you, Ivan? Have you been doing any other projects besides your rune workshops? Or?
Yeah, well, I'm currently working on another workshop, which is going to be like a part 2 extension of my current Intro to Runes workshop. I'm dealing out now. This new workshop I'm really excited about. The Intro to Runes workshop I did, that's coming up, and I did last year. I thought that was info packed. This one is going to be a lot more mind blown. I'm taking, if you already know the basic of runes or taking my workshop, this second one, I might call it rune lore or Norse mythology. I'm still trying to come up with the title, but I'm connecting the Norse mythology, the gods, the goddesses, the sub characters of Norse mythology, and from the rune poems and the Icelandic poems, and putting them, attaching them to each rune. So you're going to learn the rune lore. You're going to learn more than just the key words from the Intro to Runes course. This next workshop is going to be one rune. I think I'm down to like 5 or 6 different characters to talk about in their brief stories and that. And just to show my source work I'm working with is from these books from my library alone, going back and forth. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. That should be ready for the summer. My the Rune Lore Norse mythology workshop. I'm really excited because once I got into it, it was like a can of worms. It just got bigger and bigger, and I think this is going to be my biggest workshop yet to offer. I'm very excited about it. And besides that, like I said, during my downtime, like you saw the books, I have from part of my library. I'm just reading and keeping Indigo Chapters busy with sending me more books to keep reading. And I do read it from front to back. I don't just look for key things and put it back in there. I read it from front to back. And there's an Icelandic sagas book I'm reading now, and it's like 700 pages. It's thick like this. And I just love it. And with that effort, hopefully it's something that I could offer customers in the future and show how much passion that I have in teaching and the passion I have in doing the tarot and rune readings and that. And hopefully it would be my actual day job.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, like, you both have the passion for what you guys do, and I think it shows that with combining, first of all, separate businesses into one business, I think that shows how much passion you have and that you want it to move forward even further. So I'm sure it will take off for you guys. So can you talk a little bit about the history of the runes? Maybe people might be interested in just a brief history of what they are. Maybe they don't know what runes are or how to work with them. Maybe talk a little bit about that.
A misconception is people thinking or calling them Viking runes, or think only Vikings came up with it. The Viking age really was from 700 AD to 1000, where runes came in way before that. The earliest artifacts, in fact, 2 months ago, they just found something recently that dates back to 150 to 250 BC. Before that, it was 150 BC, but the new stuff that they found goes even further back another 100 years. And runes is basically, it's an alphabet system, which is tied to what I mentioned before with rune lore, stories, symbology, and that. And it's something that started with the Germanic tribes. And when the Germanic tribes started to migrate more towards the north, towards England, Wales, and then over to Sweden, that alphabet set has transformed into other different alphabet sets, similar to the original rune set that I'm talking about. Was called Elder Futhark, the oldest of the rune systems, and then it branched off to the younger Futhark, and then the Anglo-Saxon runes. And yeah, so people thinking it started with the Vikings, and it's like, and no, it was way before that. That Viking period was only like 400 years that we're talking about, 1,000+ years of runes existing and still being used. And it came back to light, I guess, because of the Viking shows and stuff like that. People are all interested in getting the runes, but it's good to see people actually take the time and study the traditional aspects of the runes and what they actually mean, and not just use it as a vanity piece. Know what you're writing, what you're writing down for symbols. And runes is multi-layered too, compared to tarot. With the runes, instead of just learning the face value of the runes and the keywords for divination, you could take off the layers of that cosmic onion and get deeper into it, which is what I have with rune magic, and rune studies and stuff like that, where you realize that each rune has an energy flow. And with my daily practice, I've gotten into doing rune yoga, and doing the symbols of the runes and concentrating facing north or east, the energy flowing through the open palm of your hands, from the chthonic levels through your feet coming up or coming from your head, from the heavens above. It's all linked in, and it's also links in with the cosmology of the Nordic belief system of the tree Yggdrasil, the world tree, and the 9 worlds that are attached to it as well too. That was a mouthful.
You can tell how passionate he is.
There's so much more I could talk about this.
No, that's actually why I wanted to have you guys back on, to talk more in depth about what you guys do and explain some things to people that might not know what things are about, especially like you do deal so much with the ruins. It's like some people might not understand what they're about or how to use them exactly either. So what would you recommend to somebody that wants to get started in ruins and how to start reading them themselves, besides coming to maybe like a workshop that you teach them at?
I do teach a workshop, and I teach it live. It's a 2-hour workshop. The time of this recording, I have it coming up next Saturday, but I do know when this video comes out, it'll be over. But I do plan on doing this workshop twice a year live. It's a 2-hour workshop, Intro to Runes. There's also a link on my website at rebelstardivination.com where people could watch the replay version of it. You can actually pay to watch the replay, which will be cheaper than my live. And also too, when you take the workshop, you get a 39-page PDF file of cheat sheets, book recommendations, even music recommendations to get yourself absorbed into the feeling, into that Nordic Scandinavian feel of artists that do sing in the original language and that too, and sing about the runes to give you that whole vibe. With the workshop, you get the download sheets. If it comes for books, let me go on my book pile here. If people want to get into runes, there's 2 or 3 books I could recommend. The first one is Taking Up the Runes by Diana Paxton. That's a really good book to get into. Also, the Book of Futhark by Idrid Thorson. So those 2 books right there will get you on the right path and learning more about the runes and seeing how deep it goes besides just the face value of the runes or the symbols.
Right, because that's what I mean. Like, most people look at ruins and they see these little symbols and they might not understand what they mean or how to work with them, right? So they might need a base point where to start from and how to start learning how to use them. So
exactly. If anybody has any questions, even if they're not planning on taking any workshops, they just want to ask questions about runes, they could contact me through my website or through my social media pages on Instagram or Facebook. And I'm more than happy to answer their questions and help them out.
And same for you, Christine. Have you been working on any other special projects lately that you'd like to talk about?
It's just been the Etsy shop. It's just, I'm really excited about that because I want other ways that I can support people and just sort of help them. So, maybe people are a little nervous about getting a reading, or, maybe they don't want Reiki or anything like that. It's just a way I can just help as many people as I can, because I really feel that, like, in my heart and soul, I just want to be able to support people and help them and help people connect to the wisdom and magic within themselves and just know how amazing they are.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for you taking both your time out and joining us on Haunting Live again. It was wonderful to reconnect and have you guys talk a little bit about what you do with Hermit and the High Priestess. So thank you guys so much for being on.
Thank you, Trevor, for having us.
Miss one of our episodes? Replay our episodes on Rhode Island Broadcasting, Wednesdays at 10 p.m. EST. Show your support for Haunting Live by supporting our broadcast partner, Rhode Island Broadcasting. Find them on YouTube. The paranormal can happen at any time, so that's why our Etsy store is always open. Get your paranormal items from cleansing to protection to attraction, all available now on our Etsy store. Search Haunting Live.